from the Islamic world. When America's real enemy lives in plush penthouses from Manhattan to Miami, and in million-dollar mansions in Connecticut, Long Island, Bel Air, Grosse Pointe, and Palm Springs. They've got Americans shaking in their boots, afraid of anthrax and united through fear, flying the American flag and ready to surrender their liberty for Bush's promise of security. As it was under Hitler, so it is under George Bush. But make note, the Anglo-American IllumiNAZI will not be as kind or as merciful as Adolf Hitler, Joe Stalin, or Mao Zedong. They have no reservations at killing billions of innocent people.
The president signed into law a new anti-terrorism bill. Mr. Bush put his pen to paper this morning saying terrorists must be pursued, defeated, and brought to justice. Part of what the law does is to give police greater...
You are witnessing the Nazization of this nation.
I like to call it a national neighborhood watch.
And it's happening before your very eyes. As long as Americans fly their flags in fear that they will fall victims to some evil Islamic empire, they will continue to ignore the evilarchy that runs this country through the Council on Foreign Relations and that Cassius cartel that orchestrates these atrocities. Islam is being targeted as the fall guys because they hate the Manhattan money monarchy, not because they hate the American people. Unfortunately, most Americans are just too damn dumb to recognize that they are being led like lambs to be slaughtered on the altar of the IllumiNAZI's New World Order. Oh my God! The Cassius cartel that controls this country, the IllumiNAZI boom that operates through the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission, underwrite both sides of the conflict.
What happened in New York, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing more than a textbook operation that I believe some of the most powerful and most evil men this country has ever produced has put together something for the American people that Adolf Hitler tried to pull off one time before. And Adolf Hitler called his conspiracy against the freedoms of the people of the world, he called it a New World Order. Go back and do your homework. Adolf Hitler was proclaiming a New World Order, and in order to frighten the world into accepting it, and he had to get the support of the German people. So in order to get the support of the German people, he burned down the Reichstag building. He burned down the government house, which is tantamount to burning down the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., or something. It has to be very severe. It has to be a huge loss of life. You've got to do something to get the American people's attention, to frighten them severely enough to accept the new order of the world, which is going to mean the loss of your freedoms. Very soon you're going to find in America that the military and the police are going to be able to just knock on your door. They don't have to have warrants. From very soon we're going to begin to see the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany is going to happen again.
I take a look at the statement by Senator John Warner. He says it's another Pearl Harbor for this country. It is another Pearl Harbor. In spite of what Dan Rather said, he said, no, this is not another Pearl Harbor. It is. I wrote a book with Colonel Curtis Vidal, Roosevelt's son-in-law, about President Roosevelt's prior knowledge to the Pearl Harbor attack. Just as the Pearl Harbor attack was known by the President of the United States, so has this attack upon the World Trade Center been known by the President of the United States.
They didn't care anything about Vietnam. We certainly didn't care anything about Bosnia or in Cambodia or Laos or anywhere else. The people who are running this country from behind the scenes do not care a thing about Americans or bloodshed anywhere. They are the most violent, dirtiest people on the face of the earth. Somewhere, Americans are going to have to take their country back and start finding out who are these people. Who are these people we call our representatives, the Bushes? Somebody better do their homework. George Bush, the president, his father, went around the country talking about a new world order. His grandfather was Prescott Bush. Prescott Bush was with Brown Brothers Harriman. Brown Brothers Harriman, Prescott Bush, President Bush's father, all of these people were connected to the Nazi Party. When George Bush left the CIA and becomes President of the United States, the CIA walked into the White House. And what was the first official act now that he's president? He meets with Gorbachev, another murderer. This guy was the head of the KGB. They murdered women and children, slaughtered people all over Russia. And George Bush meets with his counterpart for the KGB, and they hug and kiss each other's rings. And today, Gorbachev is up in San Francisco. We're treating him like a wonderful American. These people are traitors to the human race. And Americans sit here and watch this stuff go on every day, and we haven't got the faintest idea in the world what's coming down.
While the Illuminati's managed media is controlling the synthesis of this attack upon America, George Bush has crocodile tears. And they're presenting him as a hero. And the Star magazine talks about our heroes, but over on the side it says President Bush moved to tears about this whole damn thing. The righteous indignation, the cry for war, send the troops into battle, let's get the terrorists, let's eliminate them, let's have a war against all those who dissent against the United States of America. This is a war against Islam, but Islam is an obstacle to world government. The Muslims have to be terminated. But they're saying, oh, no, let's not get prejudiced. Let's be honest. Let's be friendly with these good people. But the President of the United States wants to terminate these people. Now it comes to the time when we must get in bed with individuals who are seeking freedom against this oligarchy of evil, against this IllumiNAZI elite, against those who are trying to bring about world government upon the ashes of all national sovereignty. We must align. We must have a free world alliance to protect the linguistic, religious, racial, political nation states that deserve to be free. A lot of people are going to die in this war. But we must declare war upon those who have declared war upon us. It's not our right to overthrow the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. But it is our duty to overthrow those who would overthrow the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States. It's stated quite clearly in our Declaration of Independence.